Hey guys, it's Neil again from Harder Texas Armory, and today I wanted to do a video review of this very interesting but budget-priced quartz watch you see in front of you from Shark Army. So what this is again from Shark Army, and the model is a MK46, and the actual model number is SAW112. Now, if you know anything about watches, particularly Seiko watches, you knew immediately when you first saw this what this is trying to copy, and that is a Seiko SKX, the classic dive watch from Seiko. So you can tell right there you've got the crown at the 4 o'clock position, you've got the bezel, the dive bezel, you've got the the cushion case style. Everything about it is trying to replicate a SKX from Seiko. However, this is a extreme budget watch. So I bought this thing for $19 from Amazon, shipped to my door. Right now they're around 20, but basically for 20 bucks you can get this shipped to your door. So this is a budget watch. Immediately you can tell this is a quartz watch, where the SKX is a automatic. This does not have a working bezel, and it's not doesn't have a high waterproof rating. So this is not a dive watch, even though it kind of looks like one. It is certainly not a dive watch. This is just a entry-level quartz watch. But the reason why I bought this is, one, I wanted to have a beater watch while I'm here at work, when I'm working on the CNC machine, where there's a lot of equipment around that area where I can bang my watches on, and I just don't want to damage my higher priced watches that I really cherish. But I wanted something that kind of looked like a dive watch. I wanted a cushion case, and I wanted, if possible, the 4 o'clock crown, kind of like an SKX. So this watch, at least on paper when I was browsing for it, kind of checked all those boxes for me. So that's the reason why I went ahead and purchased this. What we have here, so let me go over, first off, some of the specs of this watch. Then I'll kind of talk about some of the positives and negatives with this watch. I also have an unboxing of this watch on my channel as well. If you're interested in watching that, you can find that on my channel. I'll have a link pop up right now where you can watch that if you're interested. But dimensions, it has a lot of good things going for it on dimensions, at least for me. So you're looking at a case diameter of 42 millimeters, which is just about perfect for me. I really like that size. Anywhere between 40 and 42 millimeters is perfect for my 7-inch wrist, excuse me. The lug width here for your straps is 22 millimeters. You have a very short lug to lug of 44 millimeters. So this is a cushion style case, which is a bonus for me. And then your thickness is only 11 millimeters. So fairly thin case as well. Now your weight is extremely light. The weight is only 42 grams or 1.5 ounces without no strap. So extremely light. And part of that is because this is actually not a stainless steel case. It kind of looks like one, but it's not. This is actually a IP-coated alloy. And I wasn't able to track down what the actual alloy is, but it's some type of possibly aluminum alloy or some type of lightweight zinc or something like that, because it's so lightweight. It's certainly not any type of steel. And the IP coating is similar to a PVD coating, but just not black. PVD is normally black coated in black, but this IP coating allows it to behave similar to a black PVD coat, but this is kind of in a lighter stainless steel kind of look. So that's kind of the dimensions and the weights of this watch. The battery inside here, and you should be seeing a pop-up right now of what the movement looks like with the case back removed. But that battery is a SR626SW, or a type 377 or 376. So if you're interested in the battery type, that's what it is. So let me go ahead and back my camera out here, and I will continue the review here and also talk about the positives, the negatives of this watch, as well as wristwatch check here. So let me pause this video and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back here, zoomed out a little bit, and you can also see I went ahead and installed a black NATO strap onto this watch. which I feel complements the overall look pretty well. So let's go ahead and continue on talking about this watch here. Let me show you what it comes with when you order it. So the box here, you just get a basic plain cardboard box marked Shark Army. You can see their website there, shark-army.com. On the back here, they have a little bit of warranty information. So every watch apparently does come with a 1-year maintenance guarantee warranty. You know, that's nice, but I don't know. I can't speak for their customer service. You know, this is a Chinese company, so I'm not sure, you know, how bulletproof that warranty is, but it's worth mentioning. So we'll go ahead and open up the box here. Here is the strap it comes with, which I'll talk about here in just a second. You've got a little manual here with basic information. So you can see it's an instruction manual, just really basic information, just how to operate the watch. And then on the back here, let me zoom in. You've got some contact information. So you can see they do have a address here, customer service office, looks like in Las Vegas, Nevada. There's their telephone number. And you can find them on Facebook and their website there, which we mentioned was shark-army.com. Excuse me. They also give you a sticker here, which got 2 little stickers, which is kind of nice. You got a red one and a white one, so that's cool. The watch came packed in this little plastic sealed baggie, and then it also had this installed on the front glass. And then they also had one of those installed on the crown and also on the case back. So it was packaged pretty well for the trip over from China. So that's what you get in the box. Now, the strap, I'm just not a real big fan of. I don't really care for silicone straps anyway, but this one was particularly kind of poor. You can see they did engrave the buckle, which is nice. So there's the little Shark Army engraved in there. And the buckle was probably the best thing about this strap. It's actually pretty heavy duty, feels pretty good. It's well built. But the actual strap, it's very flimsy. You can see how stretchy that is. Like I said, I'm not a fan of silicone straps anyway, but this one was particularly bad. They didn't even punch the holes all the way through. So you have to size this, find the hole or 2 holes you most likely use, and then go ahead and punch them out with something. So they don't come punched all the way through from the factory, which that's a bummer. And then I feel like this section up here where the spring bars would attach to would eventually fail if you put it on too much, stress it too much, or with age. It's just not very significant. So that immediately came off the watch. And again, I installed a NATO strap on mine, which I always wear my watches on NATO straps. So I feel it is a much better option than that silicone strap. But I did want to show it. So let's go ahead and quickly talk about the positives with this Shark Army. So the main thing with this is going to be, in my opinion, the main positive is going to be the overall look of it. It looks good from a distance, at least. You know, when you come up close to it, you can see that it's a cheaper budget watch, but from a distance, it actually looks pretty good. It's got that whole SKX vibe going for it. It's well, you know, the overall aesthetics are well designed. I really like the dial, so let's bring it in close here and we can show you some of the detail on that dial. So you can see those that little textures on the dial. That's a nice touch. You can see the little rings actually on the dial. It looks really good. Adds depth and character to the watch. The embassies are well done. The hour markers, all that's all well done. The hands look good. You can see the seconds hand looks particularly good. It looks pretty cool. So they got a custom seconds hand there with their emblem. They've got a date window here. The chapter ring looks well done in red, and you can get them in different colors. So that's always cool. The bezel looks good from a distance. Again, this is a non-functional bezel, so it doesn't work, but it does look good, you know, from a distance, like I keep mentioning here. You can see they got a sign crown, which is nice, so that's a nice touch. And then the case back looks pretty good too, and we'll show that here in a little bit. But the overall looks of it, that's a huge positive for this watch. It looks good. I just like the overall aesthetics of it. Nice cushion style case. The finish on mine is well done, even though, again, it's not stainless steel. It's that IP coating. It looks good. So that's a positive. Again, I mentioned the cushion style case is also a positive for me. I like that style of watches. It also has mineral glass, so your crystal here is mineral glass. So that's a nice touch. And this price point around 20 bucks, that's nice to get actual mineral glass. So it's going to be fairly durable. It's going to hold up to most scratches, but of course not as durable as sapphire. The price point is also a huge positive. You know, $20 shipped to your door. I feel it's a decent value for the money. So for 20 bucks, you know, you're getting a decent looking watch that's going to be very accurate. Speaking of accuracy, you know, again, this is a Japanese quartz movement, and definitely very, very accurate watch. I've had it for 10 days now. I set it to atomic clock when I first got it, and I'm plus 2 seconds. So that's pretty good accuracy in this price point. And then, of course, they have that 12-month warranty, that 1-year warranty. Again, I don't know, can't speak for their customer service, but it is nice that they do provide that. Now, the negatives, unfortunately, there's probably going to be more negatives than positives with this watch. The negatives are going to be the loud ticking. This thing is very loud. It's obnoxiously loud, so I would not, you know, put this by my bedside at night because it would keep me up, that loud ticking. I don't know if we can hear it. I'll bring it up close here. Again, I don't know if you're able to hear that or not, but it's very loud. Take my word for it. Another huge negative is the lack of water resistance. So it's rated at only 3 ATM. So that's a huge negative. I mean, with this, if this watch just had a higher waterproof rating, I'd like it a whole lot more. But again, 3 ATM, so you're gonna be safe for rain, washing your hands, but you definitely probably don't want to take this swimming, and certainly not diving. Water will get into the movement and destroy the watch. So that's a big negative in my book. The weak loom is also kind of a negative. You should be seeing a loom shot right now pop up. Initially, it's not bad, and it lasts for about an hour, but it really fades quick after that, so it's not really usable, say, after an hour or two. So that's kind of a negative. Again, the silicone strap that it comes with is also a negative. You know, that's a big downer, but not the end of the world for me because I always put my watches on NATOs anyway. The spring bars are also kind of weak, so that's kind of a negative. They're just low quality. I would probably suggest you replace those with a little bit higher quality set of spring bars if you had them handy. Now, the action on this is also kind of a negative. So this is a quartz watch, and it doesn't have a screw-down crown, so that's a negative. It's just a pop in and out. So you can see if I pop it out, the seconds hand stop, and I can adjust the time. Your first spot here adjusts the date, so it's actually clockwise. You can see I'm switching through. It's got a decent feel to it, but it's not very precise. It's easy to over-rotate that in the date window. And then the actual time, it's very gritty. At first, I thought it was something in the movement, but what I discovered was it's actually the crown rubbing up against the crown protectors. So maybe yours won't have that. I saw another report on the Watch You Seek forum where a guy has one of these and he did not experience that problem, so maybe it's just mine. But again, very gritty feeling when you rotate the crown, mainly because that crown is rubbing up against that guard. Another negative is when you set the time. So say I set it to, well, that'd be 7 o'clock there. When you go to push in the crown, it's easy to, you see how it jumped back a minute? It's easy to have that time adjust when you're trying to push in the crown. You have to hold it very solid and push it in very slowly. I got it that time where it doesn't move the minutes hand. So that's a negative. Like when you set the time, when you try to push it in, it wants to jump around. It's just too sensitive. So that's a negative. It feels cheap. You know, it's very lightweight. It only weighs 1.5 ounces, you know, 42 grams. It just feels flimsy. So it feels cheap. Now, that might be comfortable for some of you guys, but for me, I prefer my watches to have a little more weight to them. They just feel like a higher quality tool than something that weighs this light. You know, that's a negative in my opinion. Non-stainless steel case is also a negative. Now, your case back is a screw-down case back, but the actual case is some type of alloy, mystery alloy that they IP coated, and it just feels cheap. I wish it was stainless steel. So those are kind of the main negatives with this watch. So let me go ahead and put it on my wrist here so you can see what it looks like. You know, that's one of the main benefits of this watch is it looks good on the wrist, at least from a distance. So here we go on my 7-inch wrist. I've got it installed. The watch looks good. It just has those negatives that I talked about. If Shark Army was able to have this exact watch, basically, and if they did this in a stainless steel case, they had the same screw down case back, upgraded your crown to a screw down, a true screw down, and you know, if they made those changes and then bumped the water resistance ratings, say up to even 50 meters. I mean, maybe 100 if they could get that, but just 50 meters, boy, this thing would be an absolute home run. And if you could keep the price, you know, say under 40 bucks, wow. I mean, that thing would be it'd be an absolute home run. But as it stands, you know, it is what it is. It's a cheap budget Chinese quartz watch. Here's a look at the case back for you guys too. So before I do that, so you can see, it does have some text here. You can take a look at what it says. Japanese movement, mineral crystal, stainless steel back, water resistant, and the little Shark Army logo there. But like I was mentioning, you know, if Shark Army had this watch and made those changes, so upgrade your crown, upgrade your case to stainless steel, have a workable bezel if possible. If they did these changes, and I mean, this thing would be a home run, and I think they would fly off the shelves if they could keep the price point of say around 50 bucks. Because there's really nothing in the market that looks like this in this price point. It's just, it has all these major negatives that keep me from just falling in love with this watch. So the bottom line is, I don't think I'd recommend you pick one of these up unless you're just in the same boat as me, where you want something that looks like this and you're basically buying a beater watch that you're going to destroy. And that's what I'm going to use this for. I'm going to beat the heck out of this thing, and I'll let you know how this handles, how it holds up after, you know, a few months of abuse. But definitely, I do not recommend this, you know, just as a daily wear. It's just those negatives are too great for this. So, but if you're in the market for a cheap quartz watch that has this really cool cushion style dive watch look, then, you know, maybe give it a shot. For 20 bucks, it might be worth your time. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review of this Shark Army watch. If you got any questions or comments on this, leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. And y'all guys take care. I'll catch you on the next one.